Good morning or good day. All right, so we're off to start on the transcription of page 31 of J.G. Zimmermann's Solitude. Now, I want to show you something that's interesting. Yesterday, I was contacted yesterday by someone who pointed something out to me. They said, "Hey, Kurt, oh gosh, where am I? Where's my damn cursor?" Say, Kurt, did you notice that the spelling is, you got the spelling wrong? See how his J.G. Zimmermann's name is last name is spelled Zimmermann here, but that in my manuscript, not my manuscript. What do you call it when you're transcribing? It's not really a manuscript. I've got it spelled here. You can't see. Hold on. I've got it spelled here, Zimmermann. I'm missing the last N. So I checked this. I was going, oh, wow, yeah, I got a typo there. So I checked this morning as I was starting just now. And would you look at this? Just goes to show you how sloppy things used to be. The spelling here is Zimmermann. One N, two M's. I don't know which one is correct, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with the manuscript. This is the original. This is a photocopy of the 1799 document. So I'll stick with that. Oh, maybe I'll change it later. I reserve the right to correct my mistakes at a later date. There we go. Let's get to it. Back to it. And let's hear this morning, Plunging into Darkness. Let's go.
Stay and hold on to the hand and don't go. Don't go. Stay here.
Maybe I won't.
Stay. Don't
here with
go.
the rest.
It's dark down there. The waters are dangerous and deep. Stay here with us. Don't get too close to the edge. Back away from the edge. Stay and hold on to the hand and don't go. Don't go. Stay here. Stay. Don't go. It's dark down there. The waters are dangerous and deep. Stay here with us. Don't get too close to the edge. Just back away from the edge. The darkness is there. Don't go. Don't go. Stay here. Talk with us. Tell us about your day. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Stay here. Stay here. Don't go.
Your piece is a is imagining someone imploring the dying to not go. Yet they go. Here we go. Here's another one. Internal dialogue.
Now that I've got you out of that safety area and into the area that you thought was your own, but really is not, first thing I need to do is to help you to get rid of that strut and bluster. Strut and bluster, yeah.
Be quiet.
That's the thing. If you can just, piss that away, get it away, get it off of yourself, brush it off.
Let me
like
hike.
one of those leeches that you keep delighting in discovering on
This
you.
is a nice place.
Instead of focusing so much on those blood suckers, why don't you instead focus on that thing
I don't want
that
to do
sucks
that.
away the humility. It leaves only
my
the
day off.
gangrenous,
Leave me
Here's my
alone.
day off.
thick gooey of this stuff that
gross.
clogs the system of and it's called this. I say the strut and bluster.
Yeah.
If you know
Call
what it is,
you want.
just get it off. Just push that stuff
Be
aside.
quiet.
Then you'll be better off. And coming here to these dark valleys and this green.
Get
this
away.
green place
I can get away.
won't help but simply distract you
Get away from you.
what you need to do. So just to get the strut and bluster, push it off. You know how to do it. You just have to endeavor to
Too hard.
to ignore the leeches for a little bit and go for the real dangerous stuff.
Shut up.
Zap.
Sap. Hey, good morning, Erica. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Erica. Happy birthday to you. How you doing today?
Oh, sorry. I'm doing quite well. I'm happy to start off my morning with you.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to start my morning off with you.
Yes.
And it's your birthday, no less.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, wonderful. Another trip around the sun, complete.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's say begun. Another trip yet begun. Right. Looking forward.
Yes. What did you do on your birthday last year?
I don't remember. I really don't know.
Oh, okay. And I heard that you mentioned leeches in a previous recording.
Yes, that's a tune called Internal Dialogue, and so that is me. That's where I'm trying to. That was recorded in Japan, and that was me going along hiking, and there was an internal dialogue that was trying to internal words that were trying to push me to move past the average thinking that I was doing, thinking about the mountains and the leeches and all, trying to make me think of better thoughts than that.
Okay, but you also said you also told yourself to stop.
Yes, I was trying to the part of me that was in the moment was telling myself to shut the heck up, let me hike and leave me the hell alone. And then the other part of me was like, you're an idiot, and then that's why it ended with sap.
Yeah, but you're never an idiot.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. But I wouldn't tell you to stop either.
You wouldn't what?
I wouldn't tell you to stop. I would basically give you a big hug.
Oh, well, thank you. That's
Mhm.
awfully nice of you.
You're welcome. So, what material are we working on today? I'm so excited.
This is page thing. I'm going me too. This is page 31 of and what's interesting is that I can actually I think this is the first page. I don't know if you can see it, but over on the right on the photocopy, there's actually a bit of yellow, faint yellow in the first paragraph there. That's yellow because I read this book a year ago. That's yellow. That's a highlight that I put in. So something I liked. I haven't read it yet. I'm just transcribing it, but I can't wait to go back and read it and see what it says. So it was something that I thought was important enough to outline last year.
Okay. And it had me thinking yesterday on yesterday's topic. I mean, that's true. We kind of get caught up in our hobbies and we don't have time what means the most in our lives. We're so consumed, to be honest.
I think that is a true statement. Through to the end. I see a typo here. Benevolence even. I don't see any other typos. This looks pretty straightforward. Let's see if let's read this. So beginning up here, let's start with the paragraph above. The motives indeed which lead men either to temporary retirement or absolute solitude are innumerably various. Minds delicately susceptible to the impressions of virtue frequently avoid society, only to avoid the pain they feel in observing the vices and follies of the world. Minds active and vigorous frequently retire to avoid the clog. Oh, there's a typo. Lowercase a. Minds active and vigorous frequently retire to avoid the clogs and encumbrances by which the tumults and engagements of society distract and impede the free and full enjoyment of their faculties. The basis indeed of every inclination to solitude is the love of liberty, either mental or corporal, of freedom from all constraint and interruption. But the form in which the inclination displays itself varies according to the character and circumstance of the individual. Okay, that flows well. I don't see any typos there. Let's see if there's any. Let's see if we can, tease out the meaning. Beginning again here. The motives indeed which lead men either to temporary retirement or absolute solitude are innumerably various. So lots of reasons that people seek to be alone. Minds delicately susceptible to the impressions of virtue frequently avoid society only to avoid the pain they feel in observing the vices and follies of the world. So those who are particularly sensitive to what is right and what is wrong, or perceived to be right and wrong, will avoid society so that they don't feel the pain in seeing all the bad things that happen. Minds active and vigorous frequently retire to avoid the clogs and encumbrances by which the tumults and engagements of society distract and impede the free and full enjoyment of their faculties. Interesting. So those who have very active and energetic and rigor and just active minds they'll seek out solitude so that they don't have to be weighed down and clogged by all of the things that humans have to do when they engage with one another. Being in society is so much work, and they'd rather have just free thought, right? Rather, so like they want to leave the harbor and go sail in the open sea. The basis indeed of every inclination to solitude is the love of liberty, either mental or corporal. Now, corporal, I believe in this word, they're talking bodily in this word. Military corporal, let's see. So like the body, corporal definition.
Corporeal.
Corporeal, I'm saying it wrong. What was that? I heard a strange sound. Corporeal, having a body, yes.
Corporeal.
So I'm saying it wrong. Corporeal, not corporal. Corporeal.
Corporeal.
What does that sound? Oh, it's Ollie. He's making sounds while he's dreaming. He's kicking his legs. Cute. The basis indeed of every inclination to solitude is the love of liberty, either mental or corporeal, a freedom from all constraint and interruption. But the form in which the inclination displays itself varies according to the character and circumstance of the individual. So everyone who wants to be alone does so because they want the freedom that is either for the mind or for the body to be free of all constraint and interruption. Yes, that's why I go to the desert, is for that both mental and corporeal freedom. But the form in which the inclination displays itself varies according to the character and circumstance of the individual. Indeed. Is that the sentence that I highlighted? Indeed. It is. Check it out. It's the same. So look at that. I was struck twice. Lightning strikes twice, Erica. That's the exact same sentence that I highlighted last year. I really do like that one. The basis indeed of every inclination to solitude is the love of liberty, either mental or corporal, a freedom from all constraint and interruption. But the form in which the inclination displays itself varies according to the character and circumstance of the individual. I like that a lot. Men who are engaged in pursuits foreign to the natural inclination of their minds sigh, not sign, should be sigh. Sigh, yes. Sigh. Men who, let's try that again. Men who are engaged in pursuits foreign to the natural inclination of their minds sigh continually for retirement as the... Kurt put a pause there. It's a comma. Men who are engaged in pursuits foreign to the natural inclination of their minds sigh continually for retirement as the only means of recruiting their fatigued spirits and procuring a comfortable repose. Boy, I've been there. So, sometimes when I'm working, I'm like, damn, man, I wish I could be in the desert. Well put. I like these 4 words here. Procuring a comfortable repose. That's nice. Well spoken. Oh, here's a very short sentence. Scenes of tranquility can alone afford them any idea of enjoyment. What? Is that right? Scenes of tranquility can alone afford them any idea of enjoyment. That seems like a strange sentence to put there. So I'm one of these guys. I have to go to work every day, and it really takes a lot out of me, and I would rather be in the desert. Yet I see a park as I'm going to work, and it gives me A sense of enjoyment. Yeah, I guess so. Right? I wouldn't feel that way if I saw a line of people going into a sporting event. I wouldn't say that's what I want to do. I want to go to the park.
Plus, it's relaxing more than a sporting event.
Ain't that the truth? Do you like sports?
Yes. Yes, but I won't go out of my way to watch sports events besides the Super Bowl. How about you?
I have no interest in sports.
but in Japan, you did watch kids perform their exercises and sports day.
Doesn't mean I enjoyed it.
Oh.
No, I have no interest in sports.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
Yeah, we do what we do. Like we like what we like. We don't what we don't, right?
Speaking of sports, I actually went hiking, and I was thinking about you.
Yeah.
It was a long hike.
Oh wow, where'd you go hiking?
I think it's park called Anaconda Park.
Oh, good. And you had fun?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There was like a lot of there was like a lot of downhill paths, and to be honest, I like going downhill. It's very fun.
Yeah, downhill's always better than uphill. Although it's fun to get to the top of something. Sense of accomplishment. Oh, it looks like. Hold on, I better see. It looks like Hearsay Hermit left a message. It says. Oh, good. He says he's sleeping better. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'll give him a thumbs up. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Back on track. A refined sense of duty, indeed, frequently induces noble minds to sacrifice all personal pleasure to the great interests of the public or the private benefits of their fellow creatures. I'm already confused. And they resist every opposing obstacle with courage and bear every adversity with fortitude under those cheering sentiments and proud delights which result from the pursuits of active charity and benevolence, even though their career be thwarted by those whose advantages they design to promote. I didn't understand that at all. Let's try that again. A refined sense of duty, indeed, frequently induces noble minds to sacrifice all personal pleasure to the great interest of the public. Oh, now I get it. Yeah. So those who feel a sense of duty, will sacrifice what they want to do in order to pursue the well-being in the interest of the public and others. So imagine, a parent going to work to support their family, or whatever the case may be, or I won't go there, or the private benefit of their fellow creatures. Yeah. And they resist every opposing obstacle with courage and bear every adversity with fortitude under those cheering sentiments with proud delights which result from the pursuit of active charity and benevolence, even though their career be thwarted by those whose advantages they design to promote. Bingo. That's everybody. That's everybody for the most part. Okay. Well put. And then the exhilarating idea of being instrumental in affording relief to suffering. It looks like that's headed in an interesting direction, but that's for tomorrow. I think we got it. Let's read it. Let's read it one time through from the start. Here we go. It's like hiking, Erica, right? It's like we're looking at that mountain. We're going to say we're going to climb it. We've been staring at it. We've been coursing, deciding our route to the top, but now we're going to climb it. Here we go. The motives, indeed, which lead men either to temporary retirement or absolute solitude are innumerably various. Minds delicately susceptible to the impressions of virtue frequently avoid society, only to avoid the pain they feel in observing the vices and follies of the world. minds active and vigorous, frequently retire to avoid the clogs and encumbrances by which the tumults and engagements of society distract and impede the free and full enjoyment of their faculties. The basis, indeed, of every inclination to solitude is the love of liberty, either mental or corporeal, a freedom from all constraint and interruption. But the form in which the inclination displays itself varies according to the character and circumstances of the individual. Men who are engaged in pursuits foreign to the natural inclination of their minds sigh continually for retirement as the only means of recruiting their fatigued spirits and procuring a comfortable repose. Scenes of tranquillity can alone afford them any idea of enjoyment. A refined sense of duty, indeed, frequently induces the noble minds to sacrifice all personal pleasure to the great interests of the public, or the private benefit of their fellow creatures, and they resist every opposing obstacle with courage, and bear every adversity with fortitude, under those cheering sentiments and proud delights which result from the pursuit of active charity and benevolence, even though their career be thwarted by those whose advantages they design to promote. And we'll stop there. All right, another one in the bag. Well, Erica, do you have anything you want to talk about before we close today?
Well, I just want to talk about always dreaming.
How's he doing back there? Looks like he's settled down now. He's in his. I bought two beds. You can see Rudy over here. He's in a big bed, right? And I bought a big bed for Ollie and a little bed for Rudy, and they refuse to sleep in their bed. So Rudy sleeps in Ollie's bed, the big bed, and Ollie sleeps in Rudy's tiny little bed. So he's all snug in there, and he was thinking and dreaming, and his legs were jumping and
I wonder what he was dreaming about.
Yeah, probably chasing a cat, I would imagine.
Oh, maybe you should tell Emily and Yumiko-san that Rudy was dreaming. I mean, Ollie was dreaming.
Yeah. I will tell him that. Although Emily's not here, so I'll tell Yumiko when she wakes up.
I think she'll laugh. I don't. Well, but that's wonderful. And that's like really wonderful because some like all dogs tend to make noise when they dream, and their jowls tend to move.
Yeah. I think humans do the same kind of stuff in a way, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Well, our lips kind of move a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's really nice.
Yeah.
And you made my birthday extra special and off to a good start. Thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. How nice to celebrate yet another great event in life.
Mm-hmm. And actually, this chapter's so relatable, I would say.
What's that? Sorry?
This chapter's so relatable.
The chapter in the book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? In what way?
Yeah, because you said like we all do certain things in the chapter at one point, and it's actually true.
Yeah. Do you feel you can relate to what Zimmermann is saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Well, that's good. I'm glad that we're able to find that connection. It's interesting to think that almost over 200 years ago, these words written down now are relatable to you at this time.
Yes. So, but what are you gonna do today?
Well, today is I actually have the day off, so
That's wonderful.
yeah. So when I'm done with this, I'm gonna take the dogs out for their walk, feed them, and then feed myself. And then I'm adding. I have 3 new principles that I need to add to the books. So I'm going to add them to the books, and then I'm planning to go climb a mountain behind my house because I need to write the content for those 3 principles, and I can do that best when I'm out in the woods. So I'm going to go hike and do some writing today. That's that, and then I'll come back and then take the dogs to the dog park.
That's wonderful. And I noticed that you've expressed about an angry dog at the dog park.
Oh yes, that's right. That was last week. That's right. Yeah, I tried to go to the gate, and there was a really mean dog in there. So I usually there's a buffer zone when you come into the dog park. You go into the first little chamber, and I always let my dog sit at the gate before I take him into the main chamber. And there was a mean dog in there.
Mm.
Just that dog and his owner, they're the only ones in there. And the owner was like, our dogs are gonna fight. And I'm like, okay, well then I'm going somewhere else.
Yes. Um, yes. That's a little scary. I'm glad you avoided that problem.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah.
And also, I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
What's that?
If you could make a video on, like, since you've answered, like, a couple other people's questions, I was wondering if you could, do a video request on, like, how to handle, uh, a death of a pet. Like, what's your perspective like when unfortunately that happens to you?
Oh, yeah, yeah, and it has happened to me. Yeah, sure. I would be happy to make a video for you on answering that question.
Yes, because and probably Miss Yumiko's perspective on losing Neko, unfortunately, um because it would be nice if you give everyone like those words of encouragement, and because as you seen me a few days ago, I was like really like sad and upset that it happened
Yeah,
to my friend. So I was wondering if you could share that advice with someone who's also grieving.
sure. I will do that today.
If that's okay with you.
Sure. Yeah. I'm
Uh,
happy to do so.
Thank you. Well, I don't want to keep you too long, so
All
say
right.
goodbye for now.
Okay. You have a great day and make it a wonderful birthday, Erica.
Thank you.
All right.
Um, bye.
Take care.